Hey, do y'all have a hashtag or anything that you use specifically for this? I'm putting the link, but I'm just checking to see if there's anything else. I tagged you, of course, but
As far as hashtag go, no, not really. But I did.
okay, cool.
Okay, awesome.
Okay, let me stop.
Somebody opened up the bag of chips as I hit the start button, but it's all good. What's going on, people? Fame Entertainment here from TiCGN.com. Welcome to a special episode of the Double XP podcast. As you guys see, I have a panel here of black excellence, is what we like to call it nowadays. I'm gonna go around the Bing introduction started. We're gonna start with a guy you guys already know. He accompanies me on the Double XP podcast every other Wednesday. My man Dallas.
Man, what's up with you? What's up? Wakanda forever. It's nice to see y'all seeing me. I might not be doing this a lot, so don't think I'm gonna make it a habit. That's all I got to say. What's up?
Okay. Next up, we got who I've been trying to get on the podcast. A lot of times, but she be busy. With her life. Making money, making ends meet. But I still love her to death. My girl Nia, what's happening, girl?
What? I'm good, man. I guess you pretty much just said what I've been going through, man. Like I work, bro. Literally, I work 7 days a week, dog. Like it's crazy out here, and I'm still barely making it. But hey, that's another topic for another day. Hey. But I'm holding on, man. I'm doing great, and I feel blessed to be on this podcast, man. Like I know, black people, we lit like 365, but it's something just hella special about coming together when like something has happened or when like there's like Black History Month and stuff like that. Like we lit like all year round. I would, people are like, oh, why do we have Black History Month? We're always lit. Like that's true, but we extra lit in February, and I love it, and I'm here for it. And I'm so happy that you invited me onto the panel. And this is going to be a great discussion. I'm definitely looking forward to it.
We definitely some extra people. And that's
yes, we extra, bro. Extra people. I love it. I live for it. Yes.
And as you guys see, we do have some guests that you guys hopefully you guys know, but you guys haven't seen them on this podcast before. First up, this man don't need no introduction. You guys should know who he is. Man, streaming all day and forever. Backwards cap all day, every day. Chase Money, what's good, my guy?
What's up, everybody? Thanks for the invite. We ain't really gonna do no self promo, bro. We're just here for this excellence. That's it. Nah, don't nobody know me. Let's yeah.
That humble. I like it. All right, now we do have two other guests, and it's 2/3 of one of my favorite followers on Twitter, one of my favorite subscribers on YouTube. Nia actually put me on to these lovely ladies. I mean, we have 2/3 of them. We're going to start with Miss Jasmine. How are you doing today, sweetheart?
Hello, I'm doing great. Happy to be here. Excited for the discussion and all the topics we're about to tackle. So it's great. Thanks for inviting us.
Thank you. And Miss Camille.
Hey y'all. Okay, I'm top of shit. Anyway, yeah, I'm just happy to be here. I'm glad. It's really cool that you decided to, let us join for your like live stream podcast setup you have going on here. So yeah, let's do this.
Awesome. Now, if you guys have not already seen Black Panther, spoiler alert, you're going to be upset. If you have not seen it, go ahead and leave right now because I'm not letting anyone hold back. I'm not letting anyone hold back right now. So, and that's actually where I want to start because I've been seeing this bit of I don't want to use the word revolution, but a trend that Black Panther has brought out with a lot of people, whether it's them wanting to indulge more into their culture, whether they wanting to indulge more into comic books, the superhero genre. But I want to go around and get everyone's thoughts, number one, on the movie and this movie's impact on the black culture, the black nerd culture. And do you guys think it's just a fad? And I want to start with Miss Camille.
Okay. Well, of course, I loved the movie. It was I would even go as far as saying that it was revolutionary, especially for me. I am African. Well, I'm half African. My dad is from Somalia. And to see like Africa being portrayed in such a light, to see Wakanda in East Africa, because I know a lot of people, when they think of Africa, they think of West Africa. They think of Nigeria. They think of Ghana. They don't know the huge and beautiful continent that is Africa and all of the different cultures and countries. And I think that it was really cool that it was showcased in the film. I think that it married African, like Pan-Africanism, the African diaspora, people being Black all over the world can enjoy this movie and really just see themselves portrayed on screen, see that kind of representation, just really connect and see that like we're not that different. Like even if you're on the continent, some of the same things that we feel and experience as Black Americans here are some of the same things that you're seeing in Africa. And just excellent, beautiful, dark-skinned women everywhere, natural hair everywhere. You know, it was perfect. Like everything about it was good. And it was just an emotional experience for me. So yeah, I could just keep going. So
Yo, Nia, what are your thoughts on, you know, this movie? You know, what are your thoughts on, you know, what it has brought out in our people? You know, do you think it's a come and go type situation? Is it a fad for the most part for a lot of these people?
Absolutely not. Like I was telling some people, like talking to some people about it after I had seen it the first time, and I feel like Black Panther is like one of those movies like people are going to be talking about for like generations and generations and generations. Like it's not a fad. Like the way that they did it was so beautiful. And like I know you know, Camille was kind of touching on, you know, like some things of how she felt, you know, considering that her dad is African. Like I'm not African, you know what I'm saying? Like, dang, like this is an emotional thing to talk about, low key, like, bro. All right, I ain't gonna cry for real. Like I
understand.
But like I'm not African, okay? You know, my roots are in America. Like I am the descendant of the people who were involved in the transatlantic slave trade. Like that's my heritage, that's my lineage, you know what I'm saying? So like for me to see a movie like Black Panther and to see so many other people who have the same lineage as me, like just come through in full force and the cosplay and like, you know, the dressing in traditional dress. Like I feel like it's one of the first times ever that I've seen personally Black Americans feel connected to their culture, even though like Wakanda's a myth, you know, it's a fictional place, right? Like we get it, but like it's the first time that I've seen like African Americans who have the same heritage as me feel connected in some degree to the culture, because that was stripped away from us. Like we don't have that same, I don't want to say that we don't have that same pride, because a lot of us, you know, we happy to be Black. We're proud to be descendants of people from Africa, but we don't have that same connection because it was stolen from us. You know what I'm saying? So like for me to see Black Panther, bro, like it touched me in ways that like no other movie has ever touched me ever. Because of that aspect, and just seeing the different people and like the costumes in the movie, the visuals, like all of that stuff, like it hit me, bro. It hit me. So yeah, I know I'm going long, but it's not a fad for me, bro. Like this, it's revolutionary. I'm not gonna say that it's like a movement, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like it's a movie at the end of the day. But I feel like it's revolutionary. It's revolutionary in the way that we've never seen Black people in African culture portrayed in such a light that. How am I trying to say this, man? Like we've never seen it in a way where it was just pure and untouched by colonialism, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like it was straight up pure Black people, happy, free. You know what I'm saying? Like that's tight to me. And yeah, man, that's how I feel about that.
Okay. Chase, what are your thoughts, my guy?
I can't get that deep because they just went ahead and took care of that for us. Well, one of the concerns I had was that they were just doing that to set up for the Avengers. I didn't know how much they were going to actually care about the movie they were putting out. I didn't know if it's just like, we're just going to do this. I didn't know if they have, you know, if they let the people have creative control, the director, all that. I was pleasantly surprised. It looks like they gave them full control over the movie. It was nice to see stuff that wasn't standard, the female warriors and all that kind of stuff. That was dope. It was nice to see people come out the way they came out, because with like the Sony leaks from a couple years ago, we got to see them say, well, don't put, for example, Denzel, I think they said Denzel, don't put him in a lead role because they're not going to sell overseas. So a lot of that stuff is going to change the way the production companies look at Black movies and, you know, Black cast and putting money out there to try to bring those people in for projects like that. And we also didn't have to be force-fed the white dude just being a hero for no reason, because a lot of the times they'll do that, but they slide the white dude in and make him super duper important. I mean, the white guy, he was all right, but he wasn't really like the guy that saved the day on that. So I don't know. They put me in front of some teenagers, man. I wanted to turn around and slap the shit out of one of them kids, man. It is back there. I watched 3D. I'm sitting in the second row on the side. That's the worst possible way to watch a movie. My head was hurting, but the movie was excellent. If you ain't seen it, damn, don't watch this on the Fire Stick. I'm gonna take it as disrespect.
Yeah, I'm snitching. Anybody watching
Fire
Stick?
Yep.
We all snitching.
I'm snitching hard if I hear that somebody's out here bootlegging this movie.
Right.
Give this movie your money, dog. Like, that's all I can say, man.
Miss Jasmine, let's get your thoughts, sweetheart.
Yeah, you know, this movie honestly was, it meant a lot to me. And, you know, to touch on what Neo was saying, I don't know my African, you know, roots or, you know, where I come from, you know, from the continent. And so this movie was so inspiring for me and meant so much to me that I actually went out of my way to buy an Ancestry DNA kit. And I'm currently waiting to receive the results back, but I'm really excited to just kind of feel closer to Africa and kind of get some closure on a lot of things of, you know, wanting to know where I come from, you know, from the continent, and being able to discover that and learn more about the countries that I, you know, might originate from. So that's something that I'm really excited for. This movie inspired me to get back into cosplay. It had been something that I was creatively kind of just like lacking for a bit, you know, and just seeing all the wonderful costumes and the Black characters, you know, all the Black excellence on screen, just like it really touched me and, you know, made me want to venture back into that and cosplay some of the characters. I felt like I could really resonate with some of the characters, Killmonger in particular, and his, you know, story and his stripes through the movie. And it really hit close to home for me, especially he had some of the strongest lines, and granted, a lot of his actions might have not been the best. Yeah, like his actions might not have been the best way to go about it, but he was a very powerful character because I saw myself in a lot of him, you know, and gosh, like I can repeat what everybody else has already said, but this was so important to see, you know, Africa in this light, not just as, you know, movies about genocide and refugees or slaves, you know, seeing Black people portrayed as superheroes and seeing, you know, Wakanda and a country that's technologically advanced, like Shuri, who's like the STEM mastermind who just like creates all the technology for the country. Just to see all of those different aspects of the film, it was not, I've never seen it before in a film. And, you know, I know not to go off topic, but we talk about, you know, I think some people try to take away that excitement from us about this movie by mentioning films like Blade. But for one, that was 20 years ago, and Blade was like the only Black character in that movie. It wasn't like a full-studded all-star Black cast. And, you know, and it's great that we need to see ourselves in sci-fi and see ourselves portrayed as mythical creatures and everything. Yes, but Black Panther does something that we haven't seen before. And I just really appreciated that Marvel greenlit this and, you know, let Ryan Coogler have full control over it. I appreciate that Kevin Feige and, you know, even in the interviews, they're not really taking the forefront with this. You know, they're letting the actors and the director and everyone have their voice because they understand and they get it. Like, they get how important this is. So I'm just like really thankful for you know, what they've done and what Ryan Coogler is doing with this. And this is only the beginning. I mean, Disney is already talking about they're going to open a STEM center in California. So like this movie is not just a one-time thing. I think it's really paving the way for a lot of stuff in the future that we're going to have. So like I said, it's a long-lasting movement. It's not temporary.
Okay. Last but not least, Dallas, please tell me you're not Nickodemus X in this. And thinking it's a fad and black folks just tripping.
I'm not light skinned enough for all that. I'm like Chase. I can't really get that deep, but I know women. I know a lot of black women who feel some type of way about the movie, the Brandy version of Cinderella. Like this is my Brandy's Cinderella. You know what I mean? Like this is that for me. I had a discussion with my little brother like the day I went to see it about how important it was to get it right. You know how you watch the previews for a movie or you'll follow production on a movie and you're like, I really, really hope y'all don't mess this up. Like it's just look, just whatever you do, just don't mess it up. And I had my own expectations / hype about it. And when we got there and I saw it and I was like, after the credits rolled and then the credits rolled again, I was like, this is like exactly as I expected in every way, and that's the best thing I could have said about it. And my expectations are high for everything I anticipate, everything I like. So this was exactly as it should have been. And like as much as I love Chadwick Boseman, that's big bro, I kind of want to see Shuri be Black Panther now.
Okay, yeah, okay,
like,
yes.
Let's go for the comic accuracy. Let's make that happen.
Now,
but
oh no, my bad. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No. Go ahead, finish, brother.
That's all I was going to say. That was all I was going to say.
Okay.
And I honestly I just wanted to touch on that and say, along with all the points that we made, I just want to say that it's great to see women and men, you know, equal to each other and appreciating one another, especially within the Black community. Yes. And also to see that T'Challa is such a well-rounded character, and to see that he basically, you know, is showing that it's okay to have emotions and feel and cry, but that doesn't make you weak. You're still a strong person. And I think that's important for little Black boys to see, because there's a lot of hyper masculinity within the Black community, and we don't give Black children, especially, the room to be emotional or to feel. And so I just really appreciate that T'Challa had like such a range of emotions and was still perceived as strong. So I just wanted to bring that up.
Now,
yeah,
I'll go ahead.
That, and after seeing Black Panther, I'm a little less annoyed by little white boys running around talking about, do you know they're wet?
I don't know. I don't know about that.
Yeah. Now, before I go
unless you know where Uganda is, like, I don't know.
I want to touch on something that still sort of connects with this before we move on to away from the Black Panther thing. So, Michael B. Jordan, you guys did an incredible job as Killmonger, and it's come out that some people didn't notice. He's a big anime fan. Turns out Michael B. Jordan is he's a big nerd, which to us is normal. It's awesome, but it seems to a lot of people that since this movie is popular, Michael B. Jordan's popular, and he likes anime, so I'm gonna like anime. I'm gonna be all about anime, and I'm gonna pretend to be a nerd. Like, do you guys think that what we're going through, or we're starting to move to a transition to where the Black nerd culture is becoming mainstream?
I'm gonna let you go first, Camille.
Okay. Well, so I think with Black nerd culture becoming mainstream, it's a possibility and a reality because nerd culture is becoming mainstream now. That's where we're at, where people casually talk about games, comics, sometimes anime, film, because being nerd isn't so much niche anymore. It's what's cool. Like, we are seeing, you know, nerds on TV. And it's not just like, oh, we're nerds, like that kind of stuff. Like, we're seeing nerds cool and awesome and, you know, revolutionary and interesting and have like multifaceted personalities and characters. So for us to bring nerd culture into the mainstream, like that's where we're at right now. So Black nerds, like I actually tweeted about this the other day before the whole Michael B. Jordan thing was coming. And I was like, y'all are just now realizing that Black people like anime. Like, who do you think brought Dragon Ball Z to mainstream culture? I'm sorry, but like our DC World, Super Saiyan guy, like all these like old school people that you used to watch on YouTube that would review DBZ or talk about it or like make memes and stuff like that. Who do you think was like at the helm? Who do you think was bringing that forward? Because like Black people love them some shonen. They love to see fight scenes. Like that's where we're at. Like if you didn't know growing up, Black nerds that were like all they talked about was Bleach and Naruto and DBZ and we're all about a Toonami and did all these things. Like where were you at? Like Black people are not just
cool
playing.
It wasn't cool. Now it's cool. So
it's cool, but like if you didn't know, like where were you? You know what I'm saying? Like if you didn't know Black nerds, where were you? And I had the privilege of being able to surround myself, or at least in my early 20s and onwards, because I mean I'm later on now, but I've had the privilege of surrounding myself with Black nerds, with people who are like me. And yes, I might have been bullied or whatever when I was in school, but I don't know, instead of holding on to those feelings and being like, oh, well, you know, where were all those Black women who liked Black men back in the day who liked nerd stuff? I was like, they were out there. You just perhaps didn't like Black women at that point in time either. Exactly. So it's just, I think that being a blurred is becoming more mainstream, but I don't think it's like something that people, I didn't realize it wasn't organic. I didn't realize that there were people out here pretending or claiming to like things that didn't actually like them, because you'll get checked pretty easily if you're like, oh yeah, I watched that one Naruto Shippuden episode and yeah, that happened. Like if you're talking to a blurred, like somebody will check you real quick, you know? So that, I don't know. That's
now Chase, let me ask you this. What are your thoughts on this? Like, cause I know for me, you know, this type of culture, watching anime, back when I was younger, like that stuff wasn't cool. Like, you know, you probably get clown. You know, you trying to talk about anime when we're trying to go to the basketball court. Like, what are your thoughts on it becoming mainstream and people really adapting to it and not being ashamed of being who they are?
I mean, I feel like people was into it, but they just would never talk about it, or they would pretend that they weren't into it. Just like a lot of stuff that people do. So I don't know if it's just more people are getting into it. I just think more people are realizing that there's other people who they also didn't know were into it, and now it's okay to talk about it. Because I do remember having people in school that I had no idea was into anime and Harry Potter and Star Wars, and then just casually at lunch they would talk about it and stuff like that. But then, you know, that was the only time they would talk about it. So I don't think it's just a new thing. I think it's just the internet has made more people comfortable because they see it's always easier to talk about stuff when you see that there's other people. So I think that's all it is.
And I agree with that point. You know, it's like a lot of people used to just feel really pressured to like not really like certain things or kind of follow the trend. But, you know, there were tons of moments where I would be in school and, you know, I was the type of nerdy anime kid that kept pictures in my binder and whatnot. I had all those anime photos in my binder, you know, and I would be around like, you know, a more popular kid. And, you know, they'd be like, oh, what's that on your phone? And, you know, and I'm nervous to, you know, be like, oh, it's just some shows. And they're like, oh, is that Inuyasha? Yeah, I watched that one time. That's cool. And, you know, and you're like, what? So it's like, you know, they do like enjoy it or they watch it casually. But, you know, like you said, some people just weren't really open about saying that they did until now. So
yeah. It's like y'all didn't care to tell nobody till Adult Swim came along.
Bro, Adult Swim did a lot. Yeah, Adult Swim brought a lot of people out.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a question. So, when like elementary school, nobody really. I mean, some people got called nerds, but not really. Like when I think that it was like between like maybe 7th grade and like 9th grade when people started feeling like it wasn't cool to do stuff that they maybe did in elementary school. But I think that was always there. I just think there was those couple years where you was trying to be a cooler person. Because I'm trying to think back, like people was watching WWE. It was WWF at the time, obviously, real heavy. Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, all that stuff. Yeah, I just this has been going around. I just think there's that little period of like teenage years where people just don't really want to do stuff that they think is kiddish anymore.
Yeah,
you're 100% right.
I don't know. It was the reverse for me. It was the reverse for me. When I was in elementary, nobody really dug the stuff I like. I used to get made fun of for playing with Pokemon cards. And so I was the only person that everybody collected them, but I was the only person that knew how to play the game. And everybody was always one thing I hated that got on my nerves. My pet peeve at the time was for somebody to call it Pokemon. Like it might want to punch you in the face.
I hated that, bro. Smart asses.
So
Pokemon cards.
Man, but everybody, it's something about the hood. The hood love Dragon Ball Z,
bro.
Yep. So
the
hood love Dragon Ball Z.
Bro.
So what I ended up doing was I used to just draw a lot. So I just draw pictures, put them on my binder, and then the next thing you know, everybody wants the picture of whatever I drew. Now everybody's on anime. Everybody dig it. As I got older, it got different. As I got older, that's when everybody kind of started to accept it. But then those people just kind of accepted me, so they dealt with it.
Yeah, man.
And that's really kind of what it is. It's people that kind of that dig you, so they don't like what you like, but they accept that you like it.
Yeah, man. I got a similar experience with Dallas, dog. Like, I'm from the hood too, and everybody in the hood watch Dragon Ball, dog. Like, I don't know, man. It was kind of one of those things where it wasn't really an issue. It's like, yo, everybody watch Dragon Ball. You know what I'm saying? Everybody watch Pokemon. You know what I'm saying? People watch Digimon. Like, we all just watching stuff. Like, it was just cartoons to us. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't really like a thing, really. I think, but I understand that my experience is not the experiences of a lot of people. Like, a lot of people did get bullied and all that stuff, and there's a lot of people who didn't see that kind of stuff as cool back in the day. But when I was growing up, man, I don't know, maybe it's because I'm from the hood. Like, I knew how to code switch. Like, I knew, you know what I'm saying? Like, I knew how to be, you know what I'm saying? And then I knew how to be, okay, well, I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna play my video games. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but,
so
in that same breath, though, I will say this: one of the realest fights I ever got into as a kid. Y'all remember Spun Deuce? My Pokemon cards all over the floor. You gotta catch these hands. You gotta get them.
Oh no, man. Like I remember when I was in school, like everybody liked Dragon Ball. I don't know, maybe it's just where I'm at.
But I think there was like levels of nerd. Like, you could like Pokemon and you could like Dragon Ball, but maybe like Yu-Gi-Oh was too far for a lot of people because they didn't really get all that.
That's right, man.
Like,
it's certain anime. Like,
or you watch like other anime than what was just like on, you know, Toonami or Adult Swim. If you actually sought it out, it's like, I don't know about all that, but this is cool. So there was levels of what was acceptable and what was like maybe just too much for everybody who was quote unquote normal. So
yeah, maybe I don't know.
Saturday morning cartoons.
Well, that was my
because like
at least
because when I was young, like Dragon Ball was coming on like in the daytime. It wasn't like, you know, at nighttime and stuff like that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like we were just watching it like we was watching regular cartoons. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. But as far as whether or not it's becoming mainstream, or what was the question again? Because I think I'm all off topic.
Do you believe it's becoming mainstream? Like I said, the reason I've been seeing a lot of this thing about because people are just now realizing about the whole Michael B. Jordan, and now all of a sudden you're getting these girls who pretend as if I need me a dude that like Michael B. Jordan and like anime, and I've been seeing it a lot from people that you probably never know. They don't know Naruto from DBZ.
Also, though, I tell you what's doing it. This damn rap music. This damn rap. I'm telling you,
explain
rappers that like anime. And so at one point, Kanye West was on top of the world. This is one of the most anime influenced rappers I've ever seen. The Stronger video was pretty much the Akira storyline. It was exactly that, like frame for frame almost. Nobody really realized it if they didn't like the movie like that. But when you catch on, like you start little by little start liking it because other people that you look up to like it. So I don't know, the Michael B. Jordan thing is not so bad. Maybe Michael B. Jordan.
I actually feel like I've seen the opposite. And maybe I'm not seeing what y'all have seen on the internet, but so far, all I've seen is like, you know, those memes like, oh, all those girls that made fun of me, and now all of a sudden y'all love Michael B. Jordan, love anime just because he likes it. And it's like, most of y'all are ashy, number one, or like y'all misogynistic. And now all of a sudden it's like, it's not that nobody likes you, it's just maybe you just suck. Or maybe
that's what I'm saying. Like, ashy.
I was just about to touch on that.
Like there's so many things that.
Yes, I was just about to touch on that because even though, you know, I knew how to code switch, I did hang out with people who didn't. So like, you know what I'm saying? Like I had homegirls that were just like hella nerdy, you know what I'm saying? And I was kind of like in the middle. And like, the thing is, like a lot of these nerdy dudes, they weren't checking for girls like my homegirls, you know what I'm saying? They was too nerdy for them. So that's how I look at it. Like, we always been here, dog. You just been overlooking us because you looking at that cheerleader over there. Exactly. And then you mad because she don't like what you don't like. You feel me? So like Jasmine said, y'all ashy.
Maybe not y'all. I mean, we don't know.
Yeah, not y'all. Just like in general. Just in general.
Like, word.
I mean, I knew we wasn't gonna get through the podcast without somebody getting called ashy. Though. I was waiting on it. I didn't know it was gonna be that early.
Oh man, that man was appalled.
Y'all not ashy. We talking about them.
No, they definitely ashy. Y'all been to game events, I bet. People ashy as hell.
People stink. That's the biggest problem. People stink.
Oh my god. I'm
No, bro. Nah, bro. Put it on after you started the sentence. Go ahead and finish it.
Yep.
Oh, he like.
I was just agreeing with you. Some people walk around smelling like hot armpit casserole.
Bro, like I understand we all love our hobbies, but like at some point you gotta like stop and like take a shower,
take a break, take a shower, like, you know, like deodorant.
So I'm like, we gotta do better. We ain't checking for cleanliness and hygiene, man.
That's what the culture needs. How do you take care of the rest of your life and still enjoy it?
Exactly.
A T'Challa commercial with like degree. You know, when it's hot outside in Wakanda, I use degree, and everybody gonna be straight, right?
Hey, that'd be perfect.
So one of the things, one of my goals when building this panel is I wanted people from different aspects of the gaming community, new reviews, things like that, with different followings, right? Small to big, medium. Things that people bring in different, like Dallas. A lot of people know about Dallas. Dallas is one of the best unknown artists you never know, right? I've been telling this man put his music out there. Dude's incredible artist. You guys know, Chase say he ain't doing no self promo. You guys know about Chase. PBN, you guys have been growing exponentially. I noticed, over the past couple of months. Congratulations. And then Nia, she stay out here grinding in these streaming streets, right? She stay grinding. Always the Tendo is on her back, if y'all didn't know, right? So,
bruh, I'm the guru. You feel me?
So I wanted to go around the panel and ask you guys: do you think? I know some people are going to say it's shut up because it's not happening, but I want to ask you guys: do you guys think it's difficult or more difficult to grow on a YouTube, Twitch, Mixer, just by simply being African American or African or Black? You guys think it's tougher to grow?
I'll go first. From maybe 2010 to probably 2013 or 14, I'd have said yeah, because at that time I would have this discussion with people, because at one point there was this huge YouTube issue, and somebody made a video and a whole bunch of people did responses, and at that time, I just simply asked them, I needed people to name me 2 people that were doing first-person shooters that weren't Market J. And they couldn't do it. So I was like, there's an issue there. A lot of the Black dick guys were doing 2K. Like since then, there's been a lot more Black YouTubers. So I think that's kind of like, it's a lot easier. But at one point in time, there was definitely a discrepancy between growth between, and not just worldwide, because the UK crowd is a little bit different, but in the US, I definitely seen like some stuff where it was just, you had to have a different quality of video. And a lot of the people that weren't black might have, I'm not going to say they were all boring, because there were some really great like white YouTubers, but a lot of those guys had like low effort. They weren't exciting. They just talked monotone all day, and they would get growth. You had to actually like you had to put more into your videos as a black YouTuber to get people to grow, especially if you didn't want to do 2K and Madden. If you wanted to do other stuff, it was hard, bro.
Can I speak to some of that as far as YouTube? So Jasmine and I, PBN, we've been on YouTube since 2014. We've had slow growth, and we're just now hitting like bigger milestones this year in 2017. So as far as us building our brand, you can look at our content from the beginning until now, and it still stands up. We have quality videos. We were pretty consistent. There are 3 of us on the channel. We're all over social media. We've all been out there doing our thing for almost 4 years now. It'll be 4 years in October. And for us just now to be hitting those milestones and for people to really start taking us seriously, I think there's a problem. Now, maybe not so much in gaming YouTube. Yes, we do have some gaming related videos, and we have done live streams on YouTube. But as far as being nerdy black women on YouTube, first of all, there were none when we started. There are barely any now. And I'm not saying that there aren't any, but who are really out there, who are visible, who are seen. I mean, back when we started, it was Andre the Black Nerd as far as like nerdy content, who was somebody who was visible on YouTube. And so we were like, okay, that's exactly why we started. Why we jumped into it was we were trying to create a space for us that we didn't see previously. Mm-hmm. And for us to just now be getting that support and that growth, and us finally getting some monetary gain, just a little bit, because we're still making beans on YouTube, and we're still making beans everywhere else. But for us to have really started taking off, for it to taken that long, when other people will put out low quality content, monotone ass voice sounding, absolutely nothing, dry, and people to give them the numbers for what? I'm not sure. I mean, we belong to a network, and I don't even mind talking shit about the network, because what have they done for us when there are some people in the same pocket as us who have gotten more support than we have? There's a problem there.
They don't even focus on us, to be honest with you. And I'm just going to be savage as well and just say it. You know, it's like they don't really give us the time of day. And it's like they'll put a lot of focus on the other YouTubers that are under the same brand, the same network. I won't say exactly who those YouTubers are, you know, but
it is a big YouTube group that literally all of you know. And for us to be in the same category as them and have the same manager as them,
what's the network?
We're not in the same pocket as everyone else. So I'm gonna just go. Who's out here?
Who's
okay, Screen Wave supporting Team 4-Star. Come on now,
Because hey, look, I'll tell you straight up. So look, when I started, first of all, you couldn't even apply to get partnered. Like they had to come to you. And it was Machinima and everybody else. Everybody and their mom wanted to be on Machinima, right?
Machinima and Maker Studio.
Yeah, and then I think it was like TGN or something like that. But it was just a couple. Now there's like I could start a network right now in the middle of the goddamn podcast if I wanted to.
Yeah,
because that's how easy it is.
Network means nothing right now. But for us to have gotten into that network 3 or 4 years ago, when it was important to have a network, it was a big deal for us. But what did they do for us?
They don't even, okay, let me tell you the amount of ridiculousness. Like, we have such a following, and we're constantly bringing in more numbers and everything. They'll have like parties and events for the network, and like we don't even get contacted about it. Like,
wow.
Look, these networks, because I'm gonna tell you, I signed with Machinima. Me and my 3 friends, we was hype. My first YouTube check was $17. I got lunch with that thing. I thought I was about to be crazy. So I was with that network for 3 years. They never responded to an email. I would open up support tickets. They would give me an automated response and close the ticket as resolved. I had copyright strikes that were bogus. And I got copyright strikes by guys, and I didn't have their audio or video in my video at all. None of that. I had to get all that stuff resolved myself. So in 2014, I started coming up on 100K. The whole tone changed over there, and my contract was getting ready to be up. All of a sudden, they want to tweet out my videos. They want to do all this stuff. That none of these networks care about you unless you have a certain subscriber count. It don't matter. They want to tell you in the contract that they could do this, and this is a CPM, and we usually do. Unless you sign with a network with like 10 partners, they're always going to look at the people bringing them the most revenue, and they're going to give them a personal rep. Everybody else, you got to get in line, and they're not going to answer you.
So they made us feel and believe like that was going to happen. Especially, we went to MagFest in 2015. They invited us out. They helped us get there. We went to the Screenwave party. We talked to the representative. She talked to us so much about what they were going to do for us. Where did that go? Nowhere. And that's fine. But what I'm saying is that we do have quality content, but are people seeking us out? Not necessarily. And so I think that YouTube doesn't do that much to support its creators, and that's just becoming more and more apparent
even black
as time goes on.
Especially
people of color, especially Black people.
Yes.
And yeah, like YouTube Black is cool, but what does it mean? Like, what does it do for your channel except for people collaborating afterwards or making a YouTube Black video, or them maybe being on the front page, and then that's gone. Like, it's in the wind. So, I mean, we've had some struggles, but I'm not saying that like it wasn't worth it. We're just now, I guess, catching up to where we should have been, I feel like.
And I think it makes me feel better that, you know, we've gotten this far because of our own efforts, honestly. But, you know, I'm not even going to lie. If we were like 3 like cute little white girls on YouTube, we'd have like 1 million followers by now.
And I mean, as far as watching Black women on YouTube, you see them natural hair, lifestyle, beauty. Where else do you see Black women on YouTube? And so we're just trying to push ourselves into that space. And I mean, we're not just on YouTube. That's why we have a website that's getting a lot of traffic. That's why we're on other social media. That's why we have a Patreon. Like, we're trying to get support in other ways because YouTube is not the wave. Like, it's not going to be forever.
Yeah.
So.
Chase, are you mainly on YouTube, or you're doing Twitch as well?
YouTube right now. I've considered doing Twitch and stuff, but I have two YouTube channels, and I don't know if I can handle live streaming on top of the 2 channels. So
a lot of people are jumping ship from YouTube and just doing live stream. I know a lot of people who are just doing Twitch now and still.
Yeah, Twitch honestly seems a lot better for creatives right now. Like YouTube, they've just got a lot of nonsense going on right now.
For now. I mean, it's just
for now.
Whatever's next. So
it's until, because this is what happens. Things are okay, but people they see how far they can get away with stuff. And then next thing you know, we're taking pictures of dead people hanging from trees in Japan and using it for the thumbnail. That's going to happen on Twitch. You've seen the cam girls. The cam girls came over. Right. That was crazy. Like I didn't know what website I was on. Like it was crazy. About 3 years ago, they started doing that. And now Twitch,
but they're policing that a lot more.
They are. But what I'm saying is, let's say a lot of people go to Twitch. Some of those people are going to be the worst kinds of people, and they're going to make it hard for Twitch to be able to run the way it always runs.
I mean, Twitch is having problems now. I'm not even going to lie. Like, it is. Facebook is,
they're doing live streaming now, gaming.
Y'all wonder how that's going to work out. I see that. We're going to be streaming grandmas.
I don't know. Like, why don't they fix her algorithm first?
Yeah, like, I don't know, worry about fixing like Instagram.
Their algorithm before they want to start live streaming.
Hey Nia, as somebody who you mostly just do stream. You stream a lot. I see your restream pop up, and I normally catch you on the mixer part of it, but you stream a lot. So do you feel it's tougher? You had a tougher time because you put out really good content. I'm not just saying that because you're a friend of mine. You have to put out really good content. You're very interactive with the people in your chat. You're consistently putting up streams. Do you feel like it's more difficult for you to grow?
Well, I'm gonna put it to y'all like this. So when I first started doing YouTube, I'm gonna give y'all a little history, okay? For those of y'all who might not know me like that. When I first started doing YouTube, it was about like 2008-ish, something like that. When I first started doing YouTube, I was a natural hair channel. I would do, regimens, you know what I'm saying? If I did weave, you know what I'm saying, I'll do a video of me doing my weave, feel me, protective styles and all that stuff. Mad views, okay? Mad views, right? I got bored of that because there's only so much of showing your hair you can do.
It's the same thing over and over on natural hair.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry, but
how many times can I show you guys my length every month before like I'm bored? Like I got bored of that, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do something else because like this is boring, like low key, not even low key, high key. So then I started doing a gaming thing. So I made my gaming channel in like 2010, 2011. So like I'm a big like video game nerd, but I specifically talk about Nintendo stuff because I know the most about Nintendo. So when I first started doing YouTube, I was doing like commentaries and vlogs, just random discussions about what was going on in the world of Nintendo, things like that, yada, 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 right? Like I'm mostly discussion, like I'm a discussion-based channel. I made my channel specifically for discourse between myself and other gamers. I've been, like I said, I made my channel like 2010, 2011. It's 2018, and I barely have 3.5 thousand subscribers. And don't get me wrong, like I'm appreciative for all of my viewers. I'm appreciative to all of my subs. Like these people have been rocking with me for a long time, and I don't take it for granted whatsoever. However, a part of me does feel like what the girls from Pretty Brown and Nerdy have been saying. I feel like if I was like some cutesy white girl, you know what I'm saying, people will watch me. You know what I'm saying? But like when they see, first of all, let's talk about this already. In gaming, especially, we got a huge problem with the way that people perceive women. Let's just keep it 100.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you got a few spoiling it for everybody. You got the ones who, hey, it's great for subscribers, let's do jumping jacks.
Yeah. Like, and like I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like I think I'm a cute girl, you know what I'm saying? I'm not like a, you know what I'm saying? But like I'm not gonna be like sexy, flexy, and pander. Like I'm gonna talk to you and I'm gonna come and talk about these games. You feel me? So I feel like when somebody comes to my channel, or even if they just see my channel, like just on like a feed or something, recommend the feed or whatever, they see my thumbnails, and I always put my face on my thumbnails. That's me. That's me. That's my channel. I put my face on my thumbnails. I feel like people judge me before they even touch on the video, because not only am I black, but I'm a woman. And what does a woman know about video games, right? And I feel like that might not be it, but it's hard not to feel like that when it's like dudes out here that's doing the same thing that I'm doing, been doing it for less time, and they getting like thousands of views, thousands of subscribers. You feel me? And it's not like, I don't think I make bad content, to be honest with you. Like, I think I know what I'm talking about. I've been gaming like my whole life. You know what I'm saying? I'm 30 years old. I've been gaming like since I was like 3, since I had the motor skills to hold the controller. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know what I'm talking about. I do my research. I do my homework. But then I hate to say this because it makes me sound like I'm bitter and I'm petty. Then like you see these white boys who are not nearly as charismatic as me, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn. That's just me keeping 100.
Dropping the
you know what I'm saying?
100. Come on.
I don't see a problem with what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm keeping it 100. Like, you know, I know I'm a hood chick, and everybody don't take to that, but I'm educated. You know what I'm saying? I know how to talk. I know how to get my points across. If I have a discussion, I know how to frame it. I know how to make a script and do that. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like because of the demographic that I'm a part of, people don't trust me because of what I look like and my gender. And it's hard for me not to feel like that, like I said, when it's dudes that been on here since 2016, I'm just giving an example. They do the same type of discussion videos that I do, and they get way more views.
Part of that, honestly, is because I went through this like years back. It's not, I mean, obviously some people, because I get comments like, and you can just tell they ain't watched the video. You know what I'm saying? You just tell just by the comment. I have a video and the comments was so disrespectful. They had nothing to do with the videos. You know, you got government assistance, all this. Like I'm talking about video game stuff, and I get those. So we get those. But the issue with YouTube is whenever you're a YouTuber, you gotta like consider how somebody's going to find your video. People aren't finding people's videos because of the YouTube search. The way YouTube works is whoever gets on the first page, that's who's going to get the views. And subscribers come from the views. So sometimes it's like, yo, people don't really mess with me, but really your videos aren't showing up. They're buried under all these other people. And YouTube has a way of, they do channel clusters and they group channels together. So when you have a big YouTuber, he might be in a cluster with 4 other big YouTubers. So when you see him, next thing you know, these other 3 people are popping up in your related videos. And that's how they keep the bigger YouTubers growing up together. Smaller YouTubers, they don't have that luxury. They don't. If they cluster you, it's going to be with another smaller channel. When people search your video's on page 11. When's the last time you was on page 3 for a YouTube search? That's the problem. YouTube has to make some adjustments for other people that are growing.
That's what I meant by like YouTube doesn't support its creators. If they want people to stay on the platform, if they want people to grow on the platform and it not just be about the people who you see at VidCon and all of these other things, then they need to do more to bring people in and make it more of an inclusive place for all of us. Like,
why would they do that?
We're out here not growing. Like,
it's all about the algorithm and who's gonna get them the traffic that they need.
True. And like, to be honest, I'm not even worried about all of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, my channel is a hobby channel. You know what I'm saying? I do it because I like talking about games. I'm talking about viewership.
Yeah.
When before people click on your video, they already have a perception in their mind of what kind of a person you are, if they can relate to you or not. And considering that I'm Black and I'm female, people feel like they probably can't relate to me.
I mean, I definitely understand you. Like the few times that I've done videos on games, and I love games. I love the video game community. Like that's my thing, but I'm just very, I guess, calculated on when I talk about it for that reason, you know? And like, I would love to be present in the streaming community, but you know, now you got crap going on where people are swatting people, you know, SWAT teams just showing up in your house, you know, and especially if you Black and that happens, like, I mean, there's just like all kinds of malicious things that are going on in the gaming community. Like, shoot, I'll be a part of like a group or like a team, you know, I'll be on Overwatch and I'm like, you know, in comp and me and these people are tight. And no, like if you speak into that mic and they hear that you're a girl, because I've had it happen way too many times to where you'll be like, hey, watch your side. Oh, I need a support character over here, or like somebody get on defense, and they're like, shut up, or what the hell are you doing on here? Get back in the kitchen. Like I've literally had a dude tell me why you should be somewhere with kids or something. Why are you on Overwatch? You know, and I'm like, bro, what? Like
it's 2008.
It's wild out here.
Games. Like, where are you?
It's
I got
crazy.
a couple of questions. Number one, Chase, with your following, are you not afraid of being swatted?
Nah, I mean, because look, if I get swatted, it ain't gonna help me to be afraid of it. Now, what I am worried about is having.
Oh no.
You got this right here. This looks like a gun. If a cop come up these motherfucking steps around this corner.
Yeah.
I use VPN and stuff too, so I guess I have some precautions that I've taken. But I've definitely had my personal information, my mother's personal information, posted in my comments before. And stuff like that. And I don't know who these people are. I don't bother anybody. So some people just don't like your opinion about something, and they will go to great lengths to do stuff to you. I can't. I hope something is done about swatting. I hope there's I hope everybody makes their platform safer. But I don't stream a lot, and then when I do, I'm using VPN and I'm on YouTube and stuff, so I don't really worry about it too much.
And then Dallas, I want to ask you, because Dallas has been mulling over whether or not he's going to start his channel. As I told you guys earlier, Dallas is one of the most talented dudes I've ever known, right? As far as music and hip hop goes, dude is amazing. So Dallas, I want to ask you, if you started your channel today, do you think, with you being, black, you've been really into hip hop, that's what I think your channel will be about, for what we was talking about. And you've been a bit of a nerd, you think that'll hold you back at all?
Hold me back? No, I think it'll change my approach. I think it'll make me do something like, just like in music, there's a time where everybody thought MySpace was the thing, and everybody if you put your stuff on a music page on MySpace, you're just gonna get famous out of nowhere because Soulja Boy did it. And there's a lot of footwork involved too. I think I would probably approach YouTube or anything online, period, the same way I would approach music and just show up. But I go to every convention I could go to. I see people face to face. If I have to make every fan one by one, then I'd rather do it that way if nothing else is working out for me.
Because when you finally put it out there, I think everyone on the panel, everybody who watching this, will see that what you can do with your talent will sort of personify, what we talked about with the black nerd culture, because you still, have your hip hop thing, but then you have the ability to bring, the nerd culture into your hip hop. And I think whenever you put that out, that's gonna pretty much personify, the future, of what black nerd culture is. Will kind of goes me to my next point of what do you guys think the future of this culture is? Do you guys see it continually to grow? Do you guys think that, like Chase was saying earlier, it's always been there and it's coming out slowly and slowly and slowly, and now we got Black Panther. Now people want to know more about Black Panther, now more about the comics. You got people that educating them about the comics, and they're starting to get more and more into other black superheroes. We got Black Lightning now on CW, which I think is complete BS because Static Shock is getting no respect.
I'm sorry, Joker clap to this young man because you spoke my thoughts just now.
Static Shock gets no respect. I don't understand what's going on.
Thank you.
With Virgil Hawkins, but that put some respect on Virgil Hawkins' name. Like, this is ridiculous.
He's getting a new book this year, actually.
Oh, word?
Yeah.
And I hope it's good because
lots of milestone
comics ain't all that great.
Yeah, lots of milestone characters are coming back this year, and Static is one of them.
So to kind of tie what we've been talking about and tie to what we first talked about, I want to get y'all's thoughts on what do you guys think the future is for, the culture, the black people really being into anime, really being into gaming, not just playing NBA 2K, not just playing Madden. What do you guys think the future is for the quote unquote black nerd culture?
Well, honestly, I feel like it's we're already seeing how promising the future is. Like, it's only gotten bigger over time. You're seeing more, black kids that are into, anime and sci-fi and stuff coming out, so it's like we've already been seeing the progress. And also with, us being influencers and creators online, we're only creating, more representation and, maybe giving someone the courage or, the confidence to want to start their own YouTube channels or become streamers or things like that. So they see us and we're influencing others. And so it's only going to get bigger.
Yeah.
I mean, this is.
Yeah, to touch on that. And go ahead. Whoever.
It helps that that we do stuff like this. I mean, it's our culture. It's in our hands. It's not going to grow unless we cultivate it. Yeah. So just the fact that we even doing anything, we're active in it, means everything.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that
okay.
He's back there grabbing amiibos too, like he's the dirtiest shit ever. Anyway,
he's like, I don't care about your podcast right now.
As far as being a nerd, and we're talking about liking sci-fi, liking anime, liking games, liking comics. I hope that being a nerd in all aspects, especially for Black people, for Black children, becomes more prevalent as far as more, Black children in STEM, more Black people in the arts. all of us being represented everywhere. Like Black Panther just opened my mind even more to as far as Afrofuturism goes, as us being everywhere.
There you go.
On screen and behind screens, us being video producers, executive producers, sound technicians, everywhere. We need to be everywhere, and us to be nerds about those things, and it to be okay for us to be nerds about those things. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, yes, us liking the hobby aspects, but let's turn those hobbies into jobs for Black people.
And it's always been okay. We just need to know.
Yeah, I'm not saying
exactly.
We just need to realize that it is.
Anything, but I just want more people to be able to realize that that's something that they can do. You know?
Absolutely. So. I think that especially being a Black kid growing up, man, like our kids get boxed in so much, dog. Like, like we do it, you know, without even thinking about it. Subconsciously, we subconsciously and sometimes even directly teach our kids that if you Black, this is only what you're supposed to be, what you're supposed to do. Man, I remember some years ago, man, this broke my heart. It was a long time ago. Though. It was like I was about 20, something like that. And I had a little cousin, man. And can we say the N-word on this panel?
No.
Because it's relevant. No. It's relevant.
You can say literally N-word.
Okay. So one of my little cousins, man, he was saying something to his brother. He was like, man, I'm an N. This is what I'm supposed to do. And I said, what you say? I had to set him straight real quick. I'm like, bro, just because you're Black doesn't mean that you're limited to anything because you're Black. You could do anything you put your mind to. Don't you ever let nobody ever tell you different. And I feel like the more that we see stuff like Black Panther, the more, and kids are all up, like, I work at a school. I'm a reading interventionist. Believe it or not, I am a reading interventionist at a school. I know how to code switch.
Outside of this.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
I said, let's talk outside of this because I work with kids.
For sure. So I'm a reading interventionist at an elementary school, man. And like most of the kids that go to my school are minorities. They're Hispanic and Black. And when they come, you know, to my room and stuff, and like we're doing our little readings and stuff like that, you know, they like I have like this kind of about me wall that's like snippets of the stuff that I like and who I am, you know, my family and stuff like that. And one of the things that they see Green Lantern, because I'm a huge Green Lantern fan. Like I go hard body for Green Lantern. They see that I like video games and like.
And not even like, John Stewart. You all about Hal Jordan.
I like Hal and John. Those are my two favorites.
You supposed to be about John Stewart. You frauding out here.
I rock Kevin.
I don't know.
I rock Kevin.
He doing too much. He be doing too much.
So like when they see that, they're like, oh, it's like a light clicks. It's weird. It's like, yo, she like this? Well, it's okay for me to like it too. And then like my kids come to me like, man, I got this game and I saw this. Like one of my kids, he goes hard for Ben 10. He's like, I love Ben 10. I was like, yo, I used to rock with Ben 10 too. You're doing it the right way. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the more that we're doing this, people in the real world, because I mean, Black Panther is awesome, but that's a movie. They need to see us out here in the real world doing it too, and it inspires them to want to get into that field, and it expands their minds. And kids are very imaginative, and when they see people they look up to, like people like us who are adults, and we're Black, like that inspires them to continue to use that imagination and to understand that it's okay to like fictional things because that expands your mind to other things. And I think that's awesome, man.
Exactly,
Awesome.
and that's one thing going off like a similar experience, you know, with my mom. One thing, she was really into arts and very creative. And that was one of the things that, you know, my grandma told her is like, you can't make money in that. She had a full scholarship to an art school that my grandma made her turn down. And I just think about how much that hurt her. And I'm thankful that, you know, my parents allowed me to be creative and stuff. Like they watch my YouTube channel and I get embarrassed, you know, I'm like, why are you watching me? Like, what are you doing? But, you know, I'm glad that they support, you know, my creative strides and what I'm doing, because more Black kids especially need that. And I just think about where my mom could have been now had she had pursued that and didn't let my grandma's, you know, reasonings behind why she shouldn't do it get to her. You know, she could be in Hollywood right now making movies and stuff, you know, doing creative set design and stuff. But, you know, it's just like that what if, and I think we shouldn't fall into that, you know. And if I choose to have kids in the future, you know, that's one thing that I want to do is teach them they can be anything they want to be and let them be creative and discover themselves, because we need more of that in the Black community, especially.
Now, the funny thing about you saying that is my mama was actually going to school for technology back in the day when it was like super new. So she could have been hot now. That's crazy.
Now, I did say we would do this for an hour, and I do want to stick to that. But I do want to say before we go, and I was just thinking this, and I'm guilty myself of it. Because I was like, okay, I'll put this panel together, I'll put this show together. You know, it's the last couple of days of Black History Month. Let's get the Black panel. And let's talk about this. Let's talk about this Black excellence. And then I was talking to my head like, why isn't there more of this of Black people coming together and collabing? You know, doing podcasts, doing videos. Like I don't see it that often. Maybe I'm in the shit.
I got an answer for that.
Okay. Let's
it's the only. It's there can only be one mentality.
Thank you.
That's what it is.
And Black people do that because they'll go to the store and it'll be a little Korean dude store. They'll buy everything in there. Black people start, bro. Let me get discount on this. So you bougie, and they move on somewhere else. Black people got that bad.
Well, you know, I could go into why it's like that, and it's so deep rooted in our history.
Yes,
but that's a conversation for another time. But you know, that's just something that has stuck with us, you know, that mentality. And it's hard to break out of something that has been embedded in your people for, you know, hundreds of years. Absolutely. To where like they try to make you feel like the special one, you know, and that's something that we're still struggling to break out of, unfortunately, but that's just what it is. I mean, if you want me to be completely honest with you.
They try to do something, they blew it up, they take it down, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
Hope in the future I can, you know, continue to do this and get more people on, and because like you said, the whole thing about being the only one, Donald Trump won't shake none of our hands. So at the end of the day, it's still us. We all one at the end of the day. But I'm going to let these people get up out and enjoy the rest of the day. I'm not sure what the actual panel is looking at right now, but if you guys who are watching and are watching live on TiCGN.com, if you guys just look on the screen, everyone's Twitter handle is right there for you to see plain as day. Make sure you can follow all of these guys. If you guys are listening on iTunes, Podbean, thank you guys so much. This video will also be where most of our viewers are, which is on our TiC podcast or our TiC Network YouTube channel. That will be uploaded here fairly shortly, along with our iTunes and Podbean. Once again, thank you guys for rocking with us. I would love to go hours and hours with this panel, but I did say we would do it for an hour, and I'm gonna go ahead and stick to that. But once again, thank you guys for rocking with us. This has been the XXP podcast, the Welcome Number Special Edition. From everybody on the panel, thank you guys for rocking with us. Go watch Black Panther. Be black, be healthy, and you guys have a great one. And we out.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.